that their butt's not even on the seat, and they're acting like it's comfortable. They're gonna like try to push their way. You gotta fight back.
I'm not entirely sure what the lesson was just now. This episode of The Modern Rogue brought to you by Squarespace. Head on over to squarespace.com/rogue. Spell it right, R-O-G-U-E. Give it a free trial, and when you sign up, get 10% off. Gerald Torregosa, you're a city mouse, I'm a country mouse. You blew my mind talking about interacting with the bodega, but I want to know how to get around the big metropolis.
I mean, we talked about you leaving the bodega because you got to get to the train, so let's talk about the train.
I have spent 30 years with a magic show loaded in the back of my car, so I drive everywhere.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna guess that's not how you do it in the big city.
I think it's 50% of people in New York City do not own a car.
Don't even own?
No car.
All right.
They take the train, and that's what it's called, the subway.
Oh, okay. I was like, yes, I'm aware that trains are called trains. Why would you explain that to me? Go on.
Yeah, I guess for whatever reason, even though it's labeled subway and people do say the word subway, when you're speaking with your friends, you will often use the word or the phrase train. Like, yo, I gotta get to the train, man, I'll see you next time, or whatever.
I remember when I was a child, a lot of people would paint things on the side of trains. Seems like very few people use the trains the way they're intended.
There are street performers, there's magicians sometimes that actually appear on the train. Often people that don't have homes will sleep on the train as well. And sometimes rats get on the train, and there are plenty of videos where people have to experience rats that have managed their way onto the train.
Why do rats need to commute? Where are they going?
They're going to a different neighborhood.
This is the equivalent of a fly has flown into my car, and I'm like, well, here you are in Dallas.
Right. Like, yeah, I guess they got somewhere to go.
If I'm going to the city, I don't want to look like a chump.
Well, first you're gonna need to get a Metro card, which is the card that you use to get in, and this is as of 21 or 2020. I think there's different methods now where you can Apple Pay, but I'm gonna go old school, which is the Metro card.
There are apps now, as I found out, yeah.
And so you're gonna go to the vending machine and you're gonna put money in it, whether it's cash or whatever, and you're gonna get yourself a Metro card. They have single fare rides that are good for one swipe. I don't know if they still use the swipe method, but you're gonna swipe the card and then you walk through the turnstile. That is the traditional method of getting onto the train.
You mean the post-Giuliani era?
Well, even after he was there, I learned several methods of getting onto the train that don't involve a swipe.
From what I understand, like a turnstile jumping.
Yep, that's one.
That's something that Giuliani cracked down on back before he was leaking black fluid from the sides of his head. But basically, it was a way to be like, all right, knock that off, and then it'll be harder for people to be disrespectful or
yeah,
I
think the thing's more narrow, so it is harder to jump. People still do it, but there is a specific way to do it to ensure less people stop you.
Please.
If you intend to jump this turnstile, which I don't recommend, but let's say you want to, and you want to do it in the most professional way possible.
The most professional way.
Yes. First of all, you should wait for the train to arrive. Yes.
Last minute.
Right, because there's usually going to be an area that's blocked off where the turnstile is, and you can just kind of loiter around there.
Like, the idea is you would never be a turnstile jumper.
I'm waiting for somebody.
Oh my God,
Yep.
It's here.
Right.
And I have to run.
People could say, oh, I'm waiting for somebody. You give an excuse or whatever. Oh, my friend's coming. But somebody's intention might be to jump the turnstile, right? So the first thing is you want to make sure the train is in the station. Reason being is if there happens to be cops waiting for you, you don't want to get stopped. I've seen it where people jump, and then when they land, there's a cop, and next thing you know, arms behind the back, it's a $1,000 fine. Could be more now, I don't know how much it is, but there is a big penalty for turnstile jumping. So you want to wait until the train arrives. If you're really good at it, you want to wait until the doors open.
And then it's like, what, you leap, you do a tumble
you
roll,
push up.
and then you run like the T-1000, and then you're in there, and then you're suddenly...
Well, it depends on the station, and this is where it gets really tricky, right? Some kids start early, and they go under the turnstile when they're small enough. We got to start them off early.
All right.
You know? But if you're not that small, you're going to want a station where the turnstile is near one of the train doors. because sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes you got to jump over and run all the way down, or it just depends on the station. But in the instance we're explaining, it's going to be one where there's a turnstile and you can see the doors open. So first you want to make sure the train is there. When you know it's about to open, that's a good time to jump, because other people coming out of the train are going to see you. People don't usually want to mess with the turnstile jumper because everybody kind of knows what's up, so you kind of avoid him, and then you jump onto the train. Ideally, as the doors are closing. You can even hold the train door open to let yourself in. That's super advanced method, by the way. People get very pissed off about the guy holding the train doors open.
Yes, because it slows down everything.
Yes, now everybody's irritated.
Nobody says nothing when people do this?
Generally, no. I mean, it's chaos. Everybody that's a New Yorker knows what's up. You just kind of know it's going to happen.
They all just want to go home.
Yeah, they either want to go home or they got to get somewhere. You're just trying to avoid the situation because you're doing your thing. Nobody's going to yell out, "He just jumped the turnstile!" I've never seen that in like all the years I was there. That would be weird.
Have you thought about the decisions you're making in your life?
Right. It's a cleaner method.
Yes.
Yes, some of the stations where the turnstile and the train are all kind of within where you can see it, there is an emergency exit, and without fail, somebody is going to use it. Whether it is a passenger with a bike that can't get this bike to the turnstile, he's going to open the emergency exit. That's when you go in.
There's no alarm when you open
Sometimes.
it? Okay.
Generally, no.
But if you have a bike and you have a helmet on, it's like, who's going to accuse you of?
It happens all day, every day in front of cops. Nobody ever thinks of anybody using the emergency exit.
Okay.
In a loaded station where it's like a big group of people coming out, now you know the emergency exit is going to open because there's going to be a bunch of people coming out. And other people just want to use it to get out, not necessarily because they have a bike, because there's just too many people all at once, so you know it's going to open. And then you walk in as they're getting out.
So don't jump turnstiles, but if you want to, those are good ideas.
There are different seats, and because all the trains used to be part of different transit systems, so all the trains are kind of shaped differently, I'm gonna ask you about what I call the orange seats.
I'm assuming that this is all not during rush hour. Like during rush hour,
You may have to stand, there may not be seats available.
Yeah.
Elderly.
Well, I don't know, people who want to sit down.
I mean, yes, that does happen where elderly, sometimes I often would give up my seat for an elderly person, but sometimes if it's mad packed, too bad, so sad, sorry. So which one of those seats do you like, or do you care about any of those?
A and B are facing sideways. I believe those are meant to be for the elderly or the handicapped. C, D, and E, I look at like urinals, where it's like, sit down on C, let D be empty, unless somebody shows up, and then whatever.
Which would you take first if you had your choice of all?
B
You
is
like
the
B?
most comfortable, yeah.
Okay, I think B is the most comfortable only for long trips, because even though it's kind of dirty, if you fall asleep, you can rest your head against the side there.
And if C is unoccupied, then you can.
Yeah, that's another method. Yep, we've all done that.
Yep.
C's a good one. I often would choose A, because if things get weird, I can get up and leave quickly. A, C, or E were always my choices. I rarely went with B, because then I couldn't. It's gonna be weird if I don't like the person that's sitting next to me.
You are aware of more weirdness than I am aware of.
Yes, there's gonna be weirdness.
I am assuming pretty much civilized society. When do you know that weirdness is about to start?
You can usually just feel it when they walk in. They have a look in their eyes. They're walking funny. There's just something's up. You just know, like, this guy's gonna be weird. Everybody has a gimmick. And you either move or what is known in wrestling as no-sell. You just, whatever they're doing, you act like nothing's going on.
Right.
Yep.
You do not give them energy.
Right.
Yeah. So when you say weird, do you mean like they're about to pull out a knife and rob people?
If they pull out a knife or something of that is going on, then you probably should depart the premises immediately. I just mean like there might be screaming, they might throw something at you.
Somebody may shout a lot, and it's not entirely clear whether or not this is a performance or a mentally ill person.
Yes, that happens a lot too, where people are screaming and they could have mental issues, which, that's not funny, but it happens a lot in New York. So you just want to be kind of weary of that. And I think A, C, and E give you good opportunities to exit those situations. However, there are instances where you're not able to sit down, where would you stand in a big train?
I would just walk up and grab
the bar?
a hoop and like, hey, what's up?
There's nothing wrong with that. That's always my second or third choice. I like to stand by the exit, which is really rude. The doors that open is gonna be the best spot because it's usually, there's a seat on the other side of me on either side, and I can lean on it when I get tired. And also it's just hard, like who else is gonna stand near you? Because the bars are over here. And when people come in, here's the problem, you can't move. Because if you get out of the train to let people in, they may now take your spot, which I learned the hard way.
And then the doors close and the train goes away.
That's okay, because I'll keep it open and come back in, but now this guy's standing he took my spot.
Got it.
Right, and now I have to go to bar method, where now I'm the chump on the bar, which is okay. I think by the door is the preferred spot, but people will yell at you like, don't stand in the doorway, and stuff like that.
Okay, so the moment somebody raises their voice,
Yeah.
give me a percentage. How much of the time is it trouble brewing versus, oh, we're about to see a show?
Legitimate trouble, as in an altercation, might go down. I would say, depending upon the neighborhood and the train line and all that, and the times that I've been there, actual trouble, like 30%. A lot of times there's a lot of back and forth yelling and anger and threatening.
Somebody's rambling, somebody else is like, hey, would you shut up?
Yeah.
And then it escalates.
I think
there.
the best ones is when it's like rambling and then people take sides. Yeah, no, you need to shut the f up. And I'm like, yeah, he should have. I'm with y'all. He's mad loud, man. Yo, chill out, bro. It doesn't always escalate.
What about time of day? Like, for example, when it comes to flights, I always book the very first flight every morning because that's the only one that is statistically most likely to go out on time. Is it the same with trains?
Yep, same thing. In the morning, it's going to be more chill because people are going to work. It's more calm. People are still sleepy. Many people are sleeping. Last thing on the train, and we're going to actually get out of the train and go onto Canal Street. If you're getting on the train at Canal Street, let's say you had some really good Chinese food or Asian food near Canal Street or Grand Street, you're gonna have a hard time getting a seat.
I don't know where that street is.
That's gonna be near Chinatown. That's gonna be downtown. And this is known. You can, I think it's Googleable or Reddit or something. When you get on at Grand Street or Canal Street, the Chinese ladies will push you out of the way to get a seat because they're going deep into Brooklyn and they're not trying to stand up the whole time.
Wait, why are
they will physically push you, Brian. It's like NBA, they box you out.
I'm just gonna have faith in whatever you're saying right now.
They got a 45-minute or an hour into Brooklyn that they're going, and they will
Why are they going to Brooklyn?
That's where they live, and they're gonna sit on the edge like this. That their butt's not even on the seat, and they're acting like it's comfortable. They're gonna like try to push their way. You gotta fight back.
Wait,
you gotta take up space, no.
Why do I have to fight back?
Because you were sitting down first.
Yeah, okay.
Why are you all in my space, man?
All right.
Like, yeah. All right, anyways, next.
I'm not entirely sure what the lesson was just now.
You're probably not gonna get a seat near Canal Street. You have to wait. Yeah. But while we're on Canal Street, if you're with your lovely wife, other people might be with their girlfriend, or you might want some sunglasses. We're gonna talk about the fake goods that get sold on Canal Street. There is a method to doing this. A lot of times when they come to you, they will have a laminated catalog, if you will, and you will point to which one you like, and then either they will take you to like a shady place, but I think more often now, somebody will come and bring you whatever you pointed at.
And then you'll have a discussion
And then you'll
about it.
negotiate how much.
The idea being you would not want a police officer to walk out and you have 75 different fake
Well,
Rolexes.
the thing is, they'll do crackdowns on this every few years, I guess, especially closer to election season. And some of them have this giant bag that they just throw down, and it's getting more bold, where they'll just have all the purses out. And I'm like, you guys are getting really bold. Like, wow. One time I was trying to buy something as a gift. It was a gift that they knew it was gonna be, you know, inauthentic. And I didn't like it. And I said, no, I don't want it. And she kept trying to negotiate with me. And then as I was walking away, I just happened to glance over. So often in New York, there's piles of garbage and they're always in black bags. And the stuff you get from bodegas or shops also.
When you say black bags, you mean
Black
garbage bag?
Yeah, so there's a pile of garbage that's in black bags. And also the stuff you receive from bodegas or other smaller shop also comes in smaller plastic bags.
Got it.
So when she displayed the item to me, it was in a black plastic bag. She put it back, and then she put it on top of the pile of garbage.
So to any eyes that didn't know
it just
what
looks
was
like
what,
another piece of garbage.
and because she did not want to be caught with that merchandise.
Well, she gets on the phone, and I'm assuming what happened was that somebody came and picked that up.
Yeah.
But in my time there, more often they had the laminated thing. They'd roll up on you, you know, Gucci, 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 and then you point at one, and they'll come and bring it to you.
And none of them are Gucci. And
They look very close to authentic, especially the nicer ones.
Except for the fact that you could grab it and go.
They've gotten really good.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
And the good fakes cost more. That's another thing that you can tell them, like, nah, I want the good one. Do you have a really good one? You have a really nice one? And that one's not gonna be $50. It might be like $400.
So what are the clues you would look for? Would it be like frayed edges?
That might be a different expert. Like if somebody knows Gucci purses really well, they would know like, oh, this looks very real or looks very good.
Right.
In fact, there was a run of, it was either Gucci or Louis Vuitton, where they would put on their real purses fake because the Canal Street business had gotten so wild.
That is awesome.
Yeah, because they were like combating what was going on the street.
What about walking around in the city? What are the rules there?
In the city, it's fairly safe, but if you're in an outer borough or if you're in a situation in the city, and there are situations you might want to avoid, like if you see a group of guys and they're all wearing the same white t-shirt and New York Yankees cap, you could be about to get robbed or mugged or something. They're not Yankee fans.
Okay,
I mean, they could be.
I was about to say, are you talking crap about the Yankees? I don't understand.
I mean, they could be Yankee fans.
But if they're dressed alike, like the Droogs from A Clockwork Orange, like they're in uniform.
There's a reason for that. It's
Yeah.
going to be harder for you to describe them at the police station
Because
after
they all
they
look
get.
the
Yeah, they all
same.
look the same.
Yeah.
So you want to avoid those situations, especially if you're a fish out of water. If you don't look like you're from the neighborhood and they see easy pickings, they will get you. Also, I recommend if you had way too much to drink, you're gonna need some Uber money. You don't want to end up where somebody snatches your purse or somebody gets you on the train. So always be prepared to take an Uber.
If you had to choose between the train, walking, or Ubering, or taxiing, or just staying at home, what is the best one?
I've done them all. They're all dangerous in some way because sometimes the Uber drivers drive crazy. You'll just be in the back of the car and you'll just be like, man, I hope I don't die like this. Like, you know, but Ubering is the fastest, or taxi. Taxi's faster, I think a little bit more pricey because you put your hand out. Literally, you just go like this and somebody will stop.
Give me rules of thumb that I should always hold on to.
Always make sure you have your Metro card with something on it. You don't ever want to get caught if you're in a rush and you swipe, and then now you have to rely on a goofy method to get onto the train. And then as far as Canal Street goes, if you are trying to buy a gift for somebody, shop around and negotiate. Whatever they say.
Whatever they say.
Go lower.
Understand that's the opening bid.
Right.
You have a lot more experience on all of this than I do. However, I want to thank you for being my original stagehand as we toured in the early days.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled for your adventure. I'm just gonna stay in Austin.
Well, when you do go, I'll be your tour guide. How about that?
All right. Real quick, why do we love Squarespace? Brandt. That's right, Brandt. We don't have to decide to design the site. They have award-winning designs that make it easy to get your message out to the world. And if you head on over to squarespace.com/rogue, spell it right, R-O-G-U-E, you can give it a free trial. And when you do buy it, you can get 10% off. Why do you love it, Nathan?
Affordable.
Yes, they do have both desktop and mobile designs, all within the same interface. All you have to do is drag and drop the things to put it together. What about you, Annaliese?
I love them because they have the Fluid Engine and the custom merch and the online store and the asset library and the flexible website template. We love things being flexible. And the video collection.
But don't take our word for it. Head on over to squarespace.com/rogue. Spell it right, R-O-G-U-E. Give it a try. Look, man, there's a reason they've been partners for, oh my God, 15 years now. We love them, and we hope they love us. So make sure to use promo code ROGUE at checkout, R-O-G-U-E.
Modern Rogue is supported in part by viewers like you at patreon.com/modernrogue. In the description, you can find all of our credits and additional ways to support the show.
Yeah, because now all of a sudden I'm thinking of like, have your bigger brother put you in a bag, zip up the bag as though it's a carry-on bag. Your bigger brother just slides you underneath the turnstiles and acts like, oh, where's my card? And then you unzip and run onto a train or something.